Hey everybody, I want to provide this video for you so you can get into the new e-text for each course. So as you know, um, we made the decision to switch over to e-text, and that means the students will no longer have to go to the bookstore to purchase a book. We won't have to deal with, hey, the books aren't in. We won't have to deal with, hey, the bookstore ordered the wrong book. Hey, the bookstore claiming that the publisher sent the wrong book. It's just been nonstop every semester. So I want to switch over to eText. It's what I've been using in the online courses that we started in the summer of 2019, and we've had 64 online students thus far, and and I haven't received one complaint about the eText. So we're using the same uh, format for all the courses. Your hard copy book, however, is the exact same. So you can remain with your hard copy book, and the students will have the e-text option. Now, if the student wants a hard copy text, that's their prerogative. They can do that. However, the e-text is incorporated right in their tuition payment for the course. Um, I know they can petition, I don't know if it's admissions or records, to have that fee removed, and then they can seek out um, the hard copy text with the bookstore, but they're on their own trying to find the hard copy text, and most likely the hard copy text will always cost considerably more than the e-text, and that's another advantage to students as well. The cost of the e-text um, is considerably less than a hard copy. So, and they incorporate right into the tuition. Never have to worry about any criminal justice text being in at the bookstore or having to get to the bookstore to purchase the text and so forth. Now, I know this won't make everybody happy all the time. We can never accomplish that. Um, but again, I can go by that after um, 3 semesters of using it online with 64 students, and I've received not one complaint. As a matter of fact, I've received some compliments how they find easy to use and convenient to use. Okay, so I understand that most of our instructors now are familiar with Blackboard and incorporate Blackboard within their coursework. However, still have some faculty that have opted not to incorporate Blackboard. And nobody's being forced to incorporate Blackboard within their courses. You can maintain the status quo that you've been using in the past. However, uh, as you know, the school now offers a Blackboard shell for every single course in the school. So whether you use Blackboard or not, a Blackboard shell is created for your course. So what I'm going to show you is how to enter that Blackboard shell, how to access the e-text. You'll see it from an instructor perspective, and then I'll show you from the student perspective as well. So on the first day, you'll want to explain to your students how to access their e-text. Okay. All right. So we're going to start right from the very beginning. You have to find the go into Blackboard login screen from the IVCC website. Unfortunately, it's down right now. Um, you can gain the Blackboard login from the main website, or I often just use Google and I'll simply type in IVCC Blackboard login and it will come right up to rather than search for it. Either way, this is your Blackboard login screen. You want to put in your K number and then your password. My password is the same password for the email. Now, when you log into IVCC Blackboard, as most of you know, and again, for those that don't know, we're starting from the beginning, you'll see a list of your courses on the right side here under My Courses. Now, if you're only teaching one course, you should really only have one course there. Of course, I have numerous courses here. In addition, I've been assigned as a secondary instructor, you could say, for Blackboard purposes only, right? In everybody's course in criminal justice. Not that I'm snooping around your courses or monitoring your courses. I'm not. I have no intentions of doing that. Um, However, this permitted me to pair your Blackboard course with the eText and get it set up for you so you have no concerns about that. Um, I I hope to do that prior to every semester, but I also hope at some point that I'll be able to instruct all of you to do that as well. It's a very simple task. Um, it's just numerous steps that have to be completed. That's all. But for now, I thought we'll take it one step at a time. I'll show you how to access the eText as it already is paired within your course. So when you go into my courses here, and again, for most of you, you'll only have the one course there. Let's look at Jacob's night criminal investigation course, evening and criminal investigation course. So CRJ 2010-300 for the fall. So we just click on the course to open it up. As you can see, it's pretty much a blank course shell, and that's what generally everybody has. And again, you're not mandated to use your Blackboard course shell whatsoever, other than now for the eText. Okay, I know a lot of you now use the Grade Center, have some assignments submitted and exams online and so forth. But again, for those who opt not to, you don't have to, but you will have to explain to your students how to access their eText. So here we are. When you log into your Blackboard shell, you'll see announcements will come right up. Of course, there's nothing there. Over on the left column, you'll see these icons, a menu of icons. Simply click on the icon that says eText. You'll see two things come up. These are instructions how to open the eText. Click on Open Pearson to access your criminal investigation eText. So you simply just click on the words right up here. I tried to make this a different color. I couldn't. If any of you can figure out how to make Open Pearson, those two words, a different color so it looks like a clickable link, let me know. I couldn't figure that out. There's also a little instruction right here, however, though, if you see a warning that pop-up blocker is preventing your access to the content, simply enable your pop-ups to view the content or click on Launch Content at the end of the warning. I would recommend you don't enable pop-ups because then you'll be annoyed by pop-ups continuously. It happens to me, so I do not enable my pop-ups. We'll get into that into a second. So I also provided a video here in everybody's class, how to use your eText. This video you can show your students in class or advise them they should watch this video on their own. I think it's probably best to show it in class. It's a short video, explains exactly how, it's a guide to show them how to get around the eText. Okay. All right, so let's go back up top. Click on Open Pearson to access the eText. We'll click on these two words right here. You'll see here's that pop-up blocker telling us you have your pop-ups prevented. We don't care. Just click Launch Content over on the right side here. It's easy, but they step after step after step to get into it. Okay, so now we're into this. Now you can see this is the cover of the criminal investigation textbook. You'll see our course right here. You'll see your course numbers. Of course, your course numbers should match your course. Make sure that occurs. I double checked everybody, but it's good to triple check. So if there are any errors, please let me know. So Jacob's course here is CRJ 2010-300 for evening class, 20 fall. And as you can see, this is highlighted. So this is a clickable icon right here. We don't want to, I guess you can click on the text. I always click on the course number itself. Now we're into the eText instructor perspective. Okay, this is the instructor view. All right. Let me move this up a little here. I want to. Okay, so they'll have a different view. We'll get into that. I'll show you in a minute. But this is what you should see because you're an instructor for the class. So when you sign into Blackboard and you go into the class, this is the view you should see. You should not see student view. If you see student view, it's not a big deal, but this is the view you should see. It's a little easier to navigate, but they're different. All right, so you'll see Here's chapter 1 right here. All these items within chapter 1 are links, and they just simply open up the chapter. You can go right to the chapter heading as well and just open up the entire chapter. Give it a minute here. Okay, here's chapter 1, beginning of chapter 1. Here are all the different components within chapter 1, and then we can just start reading chapter 1 right here. As you can see, they got some cool pictures. To go to the next page, you just simply hit the arrow on the right side. To go back, just simply the left arrow. Now, this is the cool thing about the eText. There's incorporated videos. This is a video um, from the author. It's only 1 minute and 30 seconds, but he talks about the theme of the book and so forth. There are videos incorporated throughout the entire text. Um, there are simulation exercises incorporated throughout the entire text. There are quizzes here and there incorporated throughout the entire text. The quizzes and the simulation exercises are there just to help the students learn more. They're not graded whatsoever. Um, there's also shared writing assignments in there. Students can skip those. They are not graded whatsoever unless you want them to do the shared writing assignment and then turn it into you in another format, or you create something else in Blackboard. You can do that. That's your discretion. I don't use the shared writing assignments at all. I prefer to use my own writing assignments. But again, you could check out the shared writing assignments. I'll show you how to do that. Um, but again, I don't incorporate them. Now, the last thing we never want to do, we do not want to do, you can take quizzes and you can take shared writing assignments and then blend it with your Blackboard Grade Center. And there's been no good comments about that. It never works right. There's constant problems. So let's just avoid the whole thing. Nothing in the eText we ever want to incorporate within the Blackboard Grade Center. So that's why the quizzes, the shared writing, simulation exercises are all there for quote fun and to help them along just to learn and understand the knowledge offered in each chapter a little better. Okay, so how do we go back? Go back to assignments. All right, now you'll see all these dates on the bottom. August 17th, that's when first week of classes, right, for the fall. August 24th, next week, goes to chapter 2. August 31st, next week, chapter 3. So why did I do this? Well, I really wanted to open the book, the eText, from the first day of class and have the whole book open and available for everybody all the way to the last day of class. The eText won't let me do that. I tried, it failed. So I had to assign a chapter each week throughout the semester. However, that's what this message is up here for to students. It says it's from me. That's no big deal. Doesn't matter. Um, so I clearly put in here the assignment due date is simply a guide for you, the student, to maintain a steady path throughout the course. The syllabus, your syllabus, shall dictate precisely the reading required for each week. All right. In addition, do remember the quizzes and simulation exercises embedded with the readings are not scored. They're simply there to help you gain a stronger understanding of the material. Any shared writing assignments displayed are not required. You may skip these assignments. Um, that's one thing I did get from students in the online classes. Oh my God, do I have to do these quizzes? Are these quizzes scored? They're not. Okay, so set them at ease right from the beginning of the semester. Okay, this little disclaimer right here is available at the beginning of every chapter to remind them as we go forward through the semester. Okay, so again, your syllabus will dictate precisely the reading required for each week. This is just simply a guide for them to maintain their own reading. However, if you have a week or 2 weeks where you're going to take one chapter and it will take 2 weeks, just let them know, follow the syllabus rather than the guide within the eText. Again, the eText mandated me to assign readings each week, and I couldn't just open up the whole book. Okay, so I find this easy too. We can look at, oh, for the Monday, September 20th, what are they supposed to do? I think that's 28 down there, but it's being blocked a little. Read chapter 7. Now, again, your textbook, your hard copy textbook mirrors precisely the eText. So that's not a concern. You don't have to match it up, make sure things are going right. Your hard copy mirrors their copy. All right, let's look at student view. Right up here in the right corner, you can click on student view. This is their view. So when they sign into the eText, this is what they will see. They will see all these um, guided due dates, we'll call them, right? Guided due dates. They're not really due dates. Again, your syllabus will dictate. The message that I provide for each chapter is again right here. They just click on it and it's to remind them the writing assignments, the quizzes, the simulation exercises are embedded to just for a greater level of learning for them to understand the knowledge. They're not graded, okay? Um, as you can see, you can download, it's called REVEL. The eText is referred to as Pearson's REVEL Inclusive Access. Too much there, right? I just call it an eText. But you can download REVEL, the REVEL app, the eText app for Pearson via iPhone and Android. That's up to the student. There have been mixed reviews. Some of them say that it works well and they love having it on their phone when they're sitting somewhere doing nothing. They can do some reading when they're in the car. Of course, not driving, hopefully. They can do some reading, sitting at the doctor's office waiting for an appointment to do some reading. Other students have said it just doesn't work that well. So some praise it, some don't praise it. Others just didn't even bother trying. They just keep it computer based. But you want them to know up front that um, not everybody cared for the app on the phones. All right. So when a student enters, they can click on their chapter like this if they wish and start the chapter that way. As you can see, we go right into the chapter, or they can go contents. I find going to contents a little easier for the student's view because that shows us the entire textbook with no due dates at all. They can just jump right in and read what they have to read based on your syllabus, okay? Um, Chapter 1, it shows all the necessary components within each chapter. As you can see, here's that shared writing assignment again. Um, if you want to use that as perhaps an assignment within your class, that's fine. Your discretion. I've never really looked at it. As you can see right here, this is the problem that you'll get. They'll write their answer right in there. You'll have to instruct them, don't write your answer in there if you want to use this as an assignment. Either submit it to me via paper or submit it in Blackboard, but do not, I highly recommend do not try to pair um, the assignments within the text to the Blackboard Grade Center. I've not read one good thing about doing that, okay? So again, I think going to the content section for the students is much easier to look up the reading and then go from there and just dive right into their chapter that's scheduled for that particular week or weeks based on the syllabus. To get all out of this, it's just simple. They can just X out anytime. If you want to look at it from that view, you can go back into assignments, and now we're back into instructor view. Okay. Um, I think that's about it. This will be very helpful for them in the beginning of the first class, first week, to show them this video, and it shows them all the cool things, how they navigate it and what it has to offer, and how it's interactive learning. Okay, I think that's about it. Any questions as we come along? Please never hesitate to ask. Hopefully our email will be up shortly and all this mess will be over with and all our courses will be back to normal in the fall. Let's keep our fingers crossed, okay? Again, this is going to take some getting used to for everybody, for you, and for the students. I'm sure you'll get some complaining here and there because, again, we can't make everybody happy all the time. I think the majority will like it. I think the majority will like the fact that they don't have to go to the bookstore and buy books. I think the majority will like it that it's considerably less and it's incorporated right within their tuition. And let's give this a year, maybe even 2 years, a full cycle of students to get through this to see the comments that we get in student evals about the e-text. Again, in 64 students thus far online, I've received no complaints whatsoever about the e-text. Okay, um, but bear with me, be patient. Let's get through this. Hopefully there won't be any bumps in the road other than students needing guidance how to access their e-text. Okay. All right. Again, any questions, don't hesitate to ask.